This is a great question, and the answer is yes. There was a lot of attention to Bradman's final first-class game. He actually played 3 matches in 1948-49, the Australian season after his tour of England in 1948. The first of these was his own testimonial. They used to have these for players at the end of their career. They'd have a match, and all the profits went to the player as a sort of a superannuation. On the MCG, he scored 123 in front of 52,960. That must be surely the largest ever red ball crowd at the MCG for a non-test match. 14,000 turned up on the Friday, day one. They obviously deliberately chose that the other team would bat first, so the best chance of Bradman batting on the Saturday, because back then, stupidly, they had a rest day on the Sunday, so that 9,000 crowd was on the Monday. The match raised over £9,000 for Bradman, which is about $250,000 in modern terms, which, given how little they got paid during their career, was a nice little superannuation gift. Then his second last game was his final game on the SCG, the Kippax Oldfield testimonial match, where he got 53. And on the Saturday when Bradman came out to bat, the crowd was 41,575. And one of those crowds said, "Never have I experienced anything more dramatic than the silence after the fall of the previous wicket. The Roman roar when that tiny figure appeared in the pavilion door, the silence again as he took guard, and the engulfing uproar as the first ball went with meticulous precision to fine leg for 2. And what came next was pretty interesting, because Keith Miller, the exciting Australian all-rounder and fast bowler, was actually going to bowl to Bradman. It didn't happen all that often, and people were saying, he's 40, how's he going to handle Keith Miller's bounces? So Miller sent down bumpers, which Bradman, his 40 years notwithstanding, thrillingly hooked with nimble footwork as though it were nothing more than a fly swat, although Miller then did get him out. And then Bradman's final first-class game, another testimonial, but this is also a Sheffield Shield game this time. It was for Arthur Richardson, not Victor Richardson, and Bradman made only 30, although he was top scorer. It was on the Adelaide Oval, and the crowd on the Saturday was just under 10,000. Bradman had been 18 not out overnight, and I'm sure that had he batted for longer than just 12 runs on the Saturday, the crowd would have built and built into a much, much bigger crowd. No doubt Arthur Richardson was absolutely devastated when Bradman was out, because it probably cost him maybe £1,000 in gate receipts for his own testimonial. And then sadly, in fielding, Bradman trod on a ball and twisted his ankle and had to be helped off the ground. Didn't get to bat in the second innings. So a sort of a somber end to his magnificent first-class career.